Hello, Ran here, aka Mac, and welcome. Something that I am very interested in, which is coming to 3.0, is the new and updated FPS weapons. Currently in 2.6 we have a handful of weapons including shotguns, sniper rifles, handguns, all ranging in types like energy, ballistic, lasers. In 3.0 we should hopefully have many of the older weapons reworked to the new current standard. And the latest that we heard was that they are adding an extra level of detail, for example cables, loose parts of the weapons flapping around and shaking as the player moves it. The rework is to bring the weapons up to the new current standard, plus give each weapon a manufacturer's ID. For example, the Devastator Shotgun has been around for a while now. We've been using it in Star Marine and in PU before that, but it currently doesn't have the Castak Arms aesthetic, and its Castak Arms are the manufacturer of it. It's kind of like a red and black aesthetic, so that will be applied to the Devastator Arms shotgun. Just like ships, weapons will belong to manufacturer families and adhere to that aesthetic, so we will easily recognise who makes them. Now for 3.0, expect many, if not all, of the old weapons, ones we currently have use of, to be reworked to the new standard, plus the introduction of the Scourge Railgun and the P8. For the other new weapons I mentioned, they may not be in 3.0, but they will be coming up in the patches later down the line. Now currently I know of 5 manufacturers of FPS weapons. These are Castak Arms, Klaus & Werner, Bayring, Gemini and Apocalypse Arms. If I have missed any off, do shout at me and let me know. But Apocalypse Arms make the Scourge Railgun, and this is a personal anti-vehicle weapon used to take down ships and vehicles, so that the infantry have a chance when it comes to fighting against ships. Expect this for 3.0. It is in the timeline, so we should be able to play with that when 3.0 drops. Now Bayring, they make the P4SC, the P4AR, the P8SC and the P8AR as well. Now assuming the AR is the assault rifle and the SC may be the SMG. We currently use the P4SC, but we have seen a lot of stuff on the P8. And this is a new gold standard weapon for the other weapons to adhere to. And it is ready for 3.0. It is going to be in 3.0. And personally, I think this might be my go-to weapon. Now, Bayring also make a lot of grenades. They have the Mark IV frag grenade, which is what we currently get to play with. They also have the CR7 cluster, the PM3 incendiary, the EPS electro pulse, the DS12, I think is a gravity distortion grenade, and the radar net, which I believe is radio distortion, sort of stopping comms maybe. These aren't in yet. We've seen concepts of these, or maybe in-game assets of these, but we haven't seen them implemented properly. Now, Gemini make the L86 Ballistic Pistol, and we have seen this recently. There's no mention of it being in 3.0, however, most of the gun is complete. We've seen them firing it, so my guess is that it will be in 3.0, but we'll have to hold our breath on that one. Klaus & Werner, these are sort of green military-looking weapons. A lot of them we are using now. We've got the Model 2 Arc-Light Laser Pistol, the Gallant Energy Assault Rifle, which used to be the ATT-4. They've now given it a name. The Democo Light Machine Gun we saw recently on ATV. They said it was the first pass blockout, so it's not likely to be in 3.0. But also the Arrowhead Sniper Rifle, and you know, as I say, the majority of these weapons are getting a rework. They say that they will be reworked and looking great in 3.0, so I cannot wait to see them. Now, Castak Arms, or KSAR as they're known, this is the dark metal and red skin, like I said. The Devastator Energy Shotgun, which is what we currently use. We have the Custodian SMG, again seen recently in ATV. This looks like it could make it into 3.0. They have implemented a lot of it into the game, so hopefully we'll get to have a play with that. Also, the Ravinder 212 double-barreled ballistic shotgun, the Radar .50 caliber handgun, and the collapsible sniper rifle. Now, the last that we saw of these, they were all in concept. Whether or not they've been built up, I don't know, but do not expect them in 3.0. They do look cool, though. Anyway, that's all the weapons that I know of so far. Again, if I miss any off, do let me know. But in terms of attachments, we will hopefully have a few options for 3.0. I don't see any confirmation of this on any of the schedules. We have seen many options in use by CIG when they're testing things, so hopefully they will be included. But things like scopes and sights, for 3.0 I expect we will get maybe a red dot sight, the new tac as we saw on ATV. We have seen in use an ACOG style sight as well, so expect sort of small to large range scopes. Arrowhead Sniper Rifle has a very unusual scope, really cool looking one, but it seems to only be for that weapon. Whether we can change it out eventually, I don't know. But expect a wide range eventually, you know, later down the line. Now for grips, maybe 1 or 2 options in 3.0. I've not seen too many options here, mainly just the simple sort of foregrip. It would be nice to see that. We've seen it in use in builds that they're testing, so I wouldn't be surprised. And the same goes for silencers. We've seen the silencer attached to a P4 and a pistol. Whether they're ready now, I don't know, but hopefully they will be. Now, when it comes to skins as well, there will be multiple skinning options. No doubt, you know, you'll be able to put on loads of different patterns for your weapons. Whether we'll have any for 3.0, again, I don't think so. We haven't seen them mention anything. But barrels, bipods, and lasers. Chris Roberts has said a while ago that you'll be able to swap out barrel types for weapons eventually. But don't expect this for 3.0. I don't think we'll see bipods or lasers anytime soon either. But it's cool because it's still coming down the line. Now, what really excites me most about these weapons is growing attached to them. In many games, weapons are just sort of a means to an end. You pick it up, you fire it, you disregard it, you pick up another one, you fire it, blah, blah, blah. But with this level of detail, the attachments, the wear and dirt system, we will get attached to particular weapons, and hopefully we'll have the ability to repair and maintain them, but you will always have a favourite, and I really like that. In terms of wear and dirt, like what we see with ships and outposts, we will also see on weapons. So over time, you know, your brand new firearm will degrade as you use it. I do hope, as I say, we'll have the ability to maintain it or repair it somehow. Maybe not ever back to 100%, but enough to prolong its life. This will just bring weapons to life and aid you in growing attached to them. It will make each weapon look different to a point, and it will feel really great when you go over to your weapon rack and grab your favourite weapon off that rack. For 3.1 though, it does mention that item degradation, failure and luck. Now, although this is obviously referring to items rather than weapons, we may see for weapons some sort of failure in terms of condition, but also maybe a luck mechanic. I'm not really too sure what this could mean. I'd love to hear what you think about it, but maybe, you know, certain weapons have misfires and it happens, so potentially we could see this in the game. Whether that's a good thing or not, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But tools and gadgets. Now, the Grey Cat multi-tool is sort of a pistol-sized weapon. We've seen this a while back. It's a power tool with swappable front modules. Currently, they say they had two modules. The cutting laser tool, or the lance, to cut through thin metal or containers. And the second swappable module was the welding tool to patch up damage or repair objects. They also said it will have a little display on it. Whether we'll get this for 3.0, I'm not sure. It was, as I say, it was implemented a long while ago, and we saw AI using it, so there is a chance. But also, the early Star Marine build we saw when Ilphonic were working on it showed us some ideas of gadgets. These were things like deployable energy shields, deployable holograms, and even claymores in shops. I do expect eventually a wide range of gadgets that will assist us in FPS. I would love to hear what thoughts you have on gadgets. What do you think will be useful for us in FPS? But also things like knives and throwable knives, plus a crossbow is supposed to be coming, but this is a lot later down the line. I think 3.1 will probably get knives and throwable knives, but crossbow, I'm not sure when that's due to come in. Now, something briefly mentioned a while ago, and I cannot find it anywhere, so please assist me if you know, but ammo types, and there will be an option of different ammos you can load into your weapon. Things like ballistic ammo, or you can swap it for incendiary ammo, or maybe even just tracers. Let me know if I'm not losing my mind here, if I did actually hear this one time. I think it was Chris that mentioned it, but it could have been, it was a while ago. But do let me know. Weapon impacts, we also saw in ATV. They are working on new weapon impacts, so such things as ammo type and surface type will react differently when shot. Personally, I thought this looked amazing, and I really think it will give firefights another level of authenticity and just feel great, especially on big battles. But what I do love most about all these weapons and features is choosing the right weapon for the job. It will contain so many factors and require a lot of thinking. So if you're expecting to go planet side, you won't want to be stuck with an SMG or a shotgun. But vice versa, if you're heading into a confined ship or station, wandering around with a sniper rifle will not be helpful. Don't expect to be no-scoping people. Missions may require a target to be taken out, and planning ahead will help greatly in choosing the correct tool or the correct weapon. For example, assassinating a target planetside would require a long-ranged weapon to keep you out of harm's way. So having the choice of not just what weapon, but weapon types like energy, ballistic, distortion, so on and so forth, will mean that the player will prefer a specific type and prefer a specific manufacturer, like what we see with ships. I, for one, cannot wait to build up my arsenal and start collecting all these weapons. I would love to hear what weapons you're hoping to use or what you're most looking forward to. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below if you want to enter into this month's giveaway to win a Star Citizen starter package, courtesy of my patrons. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter and Instagram, and I shall see you next time.